Welcome to Introduction to Python. Today we're going to be learning a little bit more about if statements. So first thing we're going to do, like always, we're going to set up a new REPL, Python, and you can call it if statement 2. So if you remember in the last video, the first thing we learned, if you just have your if statements, if 555 is greater than 444, colon ends the statement, it then tells you then tell it what you want it to do. Print yay. Okay, it's printing off yay because 555 is greater than 444. Okay, so that's the basics of it. What you can also test is you can test two things at the same time. So how you do that is you do two ands. You do and. So it's basically saying if this and let's say 999 is greater than 111. Okay, is it going to work? Yes. Okay, so both of these are basically separate statements now. If they both have to be true in order for this to run. So let's say this was only 10. So knowing what I've just taught you, that both of these statements have to be true in order for this to run, is this going to run now that we have changed that to 10? Let's take a look, see if you're right. No, nothing happened. Why? Because this is no longer true. 10 is not greater than 111. So therefore, both of these statements are not true, and it will not print this. Okay. The other one you can do is OR. Okay. So if either of these tests are true, it'll print out. So if knowing what you know about OR, the word OR, that either of them have to be true in order for it to run, what's going to happen? Let's take a look, see if you're right. Yay. Why did it work? Because this one's false, but this one is still true. As long as one of them is true, it will run. If they're both false, if we change this to 111, nothing ran because now they're both false. If they're both true, it'll still run because one of them is still true. Okay. You can also do greater than or equal to. So if we change this to 444, this would still be true because 444 is greater than or equal to 444. I didn't show that in my last one. I should have though. You can put an equal sign there, and it'll test to see if it's greater than or equal to it. That'll come up in handy in your GPA calculator. Okay. So there's and or. Those are the two main ones that you do. Once you get past 2, if you wanted to do another one, that's when you really start wanting using parentheses, or else you'll really start just kind of getting lost. So you want to, putting in parentheses just kind of helps everything just stay organized and makes it run better. Or then you can do another whole test. So you could do 333 is less than 888. Okay. So yeah, once you start getting out here, it gets a little bit trickier. You could, and yeah, but we'll go over that in a different video. Okay. But yeah, so you can do multiple tests at once, but the longer the if statement is, the more complex and easier it is to make mistakes. You gotta be careful. Okay. So let's go back to the very beginning of if statements. Let's say we had 444 is greater than 333. That is always going to be, well, let's not do 4. Let's do 555. Okay. Now, if we run this, what's going to happen? Nothing. Why? Because 444 is not greater than 555, so this is not true. Therefore, this will never run. So, if that's the case, what you can do is now you can use the else tool. Else tool is basically the second option. Go. Let's see what happens. Go. Perfect. Okay. So if this statement is false, it basically skips all. I mean, again, you can have 10 different print statements here. It doesn't really matter as long as it's indented. it's going to skip. If this is false, it's going to skip all of these lines and go down to else, and then it's going to do whatever is inside of else. It's just like the regular if. Okay, it skips this line and goes down to the else line, and then does all of these. Okay. Let's test it out. Let's just print off two things. I'm just going to test your knowledge, see how you're doing. So if I had 750 is greater than 800, which is going to print out? Is yay going to print out or go going to print out? All right, let's see if you're right. Go. Why is go printing out? Because 750 is not greater than 800, so it will print off the second one underneath the else. Else is just basically, if this doesn't work, what else do you want me to do? Okay, so you want me to do whatever's underneath this colon. Okay, let's do one more. Help you practice the and the or. So 555 is greater than 100, or 550 is less than 450. Okay, so what's going to print off? Yay or go? Let's see if you're right. Yay. Why did it print off yay? Because this one is true. As long as one or the other is true, then you got it. So there's the basics of and or. Or, again, you have to have one of these tests be true. And with and, they both have to be true. If one of them is false, this won't run, and it'll go down to the else statement. So this will come up. This will make a lot more sense once we start using variables more. But I just wanted to use numbers in this video to make sure you understand what's happening.